Hmm.
Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of RLG Cast Reviews. I'm here with Johnny Donuts, the master of all things donuts, not of the universe, just donuts
Just donuts.
in the
Yeah.
universe.
Which I had three of them today.
So this is unlike you. Three donuts? Can you tell me all the
Yeah,
donuts
I
you
know.
had?
That is unlike. Okay, it was my niece Charlotte's birthday. Shout out to Fab. It was his daughter's birthday. We were up there for his birthday. We got caught in a rainstorm, of course. And I had like the Homer Simpson pink sprinkle donut.
Hmm.
I had an eclair, and I had a s'mores donut.
You just went all out today.
I went all out today. With
Anyways,
Pizza
I
Nova, oh, you can't go wrong.
can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. Oh, I'm definitely lagging at this point. Um, but we're gonna talk about Game of
We're not
Thrones. That's
talking
what
about donuts.
we're not, and we're also not talking about Game of Thrones. We're talking about House of the
It's
Dragon.
actually House of the Dragon season
Season
two.
two. And since I'm lagging, Johnny Donuts is going to explain to you what this season
Okay.
is about, kind of.
So this season basically revolves around Rhaenyra Targaryen trying to get the throne back from the usurper Aegon. And she's trying to build an army to go up against Aegon, but all the while, her brother Daemon and her, I guess, her nephew Aegon is also like they're also trying to usurp the throne. So there's literally a Game of Thrones going on.
Wow. I like how you did that. I
But it's
like
all
how you did.
Targaryens. It has nothing. There's no outside houses. You
Yeah.
do have House Strong trying to make a play for it, but
Yeah. There's the easiest way to describe this show, if you don't understand anything he just said, is the battle within the Targaryens continues.
it's a family feud basically
Yeah.
without Steve Harvey.
Nice. I mean, I would love Steve Harvey in Game of Thrones,
That would be amazing. He's just mediating the Game of Thrones.
just in a suit of armor and a mustache.
Oh
Um,
my God. I can picture that right now.
okay. So
Top five answers on the board.
show me potato salad. Um, anyways, before I lag out of this conversation,
Yeah.
the I thought this season was well done. Um, I
Hmm.
think there's a lot more attention to detail in this season than the previous season. That could
They
be,
shortened it too.
yeah, I think 2 episodes, right? It was 10 and then now it's
Hmm.
8. But that last season had the time jump, so I guess you had to have more. You had to have 5 and 5 at least to like split.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that also led to maybe why this one is feels more streamlined and smooth because there's so much
Yeah.
going on in the first season because you're constantly moving forward through time.
But this one
Um,
too had about 4 or 5 different subplots.
yeah, but it's settled into where it is. We're not like
Yeah.
jumping ahead, so it's okay. You're right now. What they're doing is they're just world expansion, like universe expansion. We're starting to
Mhm.
learn more about other families. We
Lore
actually got,
building.
yeah, exactly. We got to see like the Lannisters and everyone at River Run and the way that they
Hmm.
Heron Hall and all that stuff that's going on over there. Which that's cool. We got to see some Stark stuff.
Yeah.
I think next season is going to have a lot of focus on Starks.
I think so. It's gonna be the battle. It is the dragon battle that's next season for the most
Oh,
part.
for sure, because it's 4 seasons only,
Yeah.
I think they said.
Yeah.
We won't give you
And I've read the book
spoilers.
and the yeah, I've read the book, so I know what's happening. And there were a
Mhm.
few changes, but not much. They've been pretty faithful to it.
Yeah, the book for this isn't it just an addendum?
Hmm.
It's just like how the book that
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings book where it just explains like lore to you, right?
The
It's not an
Similarian.
actual, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. It's not an actual book.
Yeah.
Um,
It's kind of like a novella, I guess you can
okay,
call it.
yeah, that's fair. Um, so yeah, I thought the acting was really good.
Hmm.
Like there's obviously small issues. I think it's less impactful than the first season. I think there's some of like the gravitas of like what's happening is
Yeah,
missing.
because the first season ended with her son getting killed.
Yeah. And this is extremely slow paced.
Yeah,
I
it was
I
a little
don't
slower.
mind it. So do you
No, it
want to
was
give your
good.
take before we go like full spoilery?
I thought the acting was so well done. Matt Smith is fantastic in this role.
And I hate Matt Smith.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a Doctor Who guy, but I was, right?
Excuse me, I'm not a Matt Smith Doctor Who guy. That's it. The rest
Okay.
of it, yes.
Okay. Everybody loves Tom. Everybody loves Tom Baker,
Hey,
but the guy with the scarf.
Tom Baker's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And David Tennant. But no, I thought
David
Matt Smith was
Ecclestein.
fantastic.
Okay.
Christopher, but yes,
No, did I say David? David Tennant.
David
No.
Ecclestein. No,
Yeah,
but I mean,
Christopher
like I said,
Ecclestein.
was it Olivia Cook is great in her role. Like I think they all knew what their roles were and what their parts were, and it was so well acted, so well written, so well put together. It just goes to show, like for example, the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones, where they didn't have source material to go off of, and this time they do, and they're staying faithful to source material.
It's
I think it's
they're using it better, right? But the thing is, like,
yes,
season 1 is a good example of what season 7 and 8 should have done in Game of Thrones, where the time skipping it just flows better.
yeah,
Like in this one, everyone's travels at full speed. I don't like Game of Thrones season 1
yeah.
to 5. There was this long journey to get everywhere, and then season
It
6, 7,
especially
8
the
was
one
like,
with Daenerys.
yeah.
Yeah,
Then, but all of a sudden,
Daenerys to
6,
get
7,
to
8, they were
Westeros.
everywhere,
Yeah, yeah,
and that in this season 1 of this and season 2 of this, they still quick time travel. But the thing is, it doesn't feel, you don't notice it because the way the show is paced out. Like they don't make it obvious that,
yeah.
oh, he just left and all of a sudden he's there. But they do have dragons, so they have an
Yes,
advantage.
they do have an
Um,
advantage.
I think, yeah, the acting is really solid. I think the music is great.
Hmm.
I think the CGI is really bad.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah, especially
Some of it
backgrounds.
does look. Yes, the green screen backgrounds, I do notice the jankiness of it.
It's weird that there's so much effort put into the dragon and then everything behind it looks like a cartoon.
But the actual set pieces of the castles when they're indoors look
Oh,
nice.
amazing. That's the set design is amazing. Crazy.
Yeah,
The
it's
iron
the outside. It's the
what's
Iron
the
Throne. Like
well, no, but what's that the castle called where the Targaryen castle? Ironside or
Dragonstone.
Dragonstone. That's it's beautiful. Like the
Yeah,
lighting with the big like tall windows.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
And the table, the wooden table, and the
Yeah.
with all the map of Westeros.
I'm feeling that. It always looks like it's raining.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to see some Essos stuff.
yeah.
These are not
SOS. Yeah.
spoilery. We
No.
haven't got any what are they called? The
Which
where
ones?
Pedro Pascal's people were.
Dorne.
The Dornish. Yeah, we haven't seen any
So the only
the
thing we
Dornish.
get from Dorne is Kristen Cole. He's the only Dornish character on the show right now.
Oh, that's true, actually. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we should just give a score here and then open spoilers because
Yeah.
we're 2 weeks into. This is a late review, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I give
I'm
it an
giving
eight.
it, I'll give it a 9.3.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. A 9.3 for me.
I'm at an 8.5, but I still
Okay.
for me that's a really good score. I gave season 1 a 9, and I think what this one the biggest thing that it's missing, number 1, is its pacing is really awkward. And the number 2, I think the entire side story with Matt Smith is so awkward, and it should have only been a
Mm.
1 episode arc, but goes for the whole season. And to get where it's
It
going,
was 5
made you
episodes.
feel
Yeah.
to get where it goes, you're like, you could have just did that in one
Yeah.
shot. I didn't need this stretched out for half an episode for 5 episodes to tell me literally
Yeah.
this, right? And shut out spoilers one,
See,
two,
where
three. We're
I
going into
was like,
spoilers. Go.
yeah. Well, this is for me too, going back to what I was saying. Like, this is the first time in a long time I was looking forward to the next episode. You know what
I
I mean?
agree.
Like, it was I have a like, especially now with streaming, like they'll drop all episodes at once. You know, you were waiting, the anticipation of the next episode. Every episode was ending like, holy shit, what's going to happen next? What's going to go on? Like, what's going to, like,
I
even though I
prefer it.
read the books and I knew what this, yeah.
I prefer that because as someone who reviews things, it gives you
Mhm.
time. Is that your fake cat? It gives you time.
No, no, no. I'm just getting my water. It
Uh,
was very loud with a lot of kids at the party, so I need to drink.
it was it makes it easier to review it. When they drop everything at once, it makes it a difficult task because by the time you watch 8, 10 episodes of an hour long, that's 10 hours.
Yeah.
That's 10 days. Now you're 10 days late to make a review. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
we're late.
a lot of other, well, I mean, but a lot of other, I guess, channels or whatever, they did it episode per episode, which that would have been just too much for us.
It does. I don't see the point of that. I mean, yeah, sure, you're gonna get views, and like, shout out to everyone who does it. I'm not saying it, but it's kind of like
Yeah.
milking views. But I get it. It's you're getting paid for it, right? But I don't
We
want.
have full-time jobs besides
Yeah,
this.
I don't want to put in the effort to do that just to tell you what happened in an episode you also watched. Do you know? Like,
Yeah.
reviewing the season is different because we're like giving you our the way that we felt about the entirety
Yeah.
of the show. I
Well,
don't know
like I said,
anything
I
that's
like
happening with one episode.
Yeah, I like season 2 better than season 1. But let's like you said, let's get into the spoilers here. So basically, the season she built her army of dragons. She got the common folk to, or bastard children, I guess you could say, to dragon ride.
I mean, like small nitpicks, right? But I don't like the sun. The sun gets in the way. He's so unnecessary.
Is it just
like,
me, or is he starting to look like Kit Harington?
yeah, a lot. But he's so unnecessary. Remember this, okay? Remember this. Kit Harington is a Targaryen. Jon Snow is a Targaryen.
Targaryen, yeah.
Maybe his bloodline is from the sun, and that's why he looks like that. Maybe this is like they're part of their plan, because we get to see that the actual chosen one,
yeah,
Matt Smith's seeing the
Vision.
vision is Daenerys, not Jon Snow. Jon Snow was
Yeah.
never the chosen one. It was always Daenerys the whole time, which is crazy. That flips everything on its head now that we thought we
Yeah.
knew.
And we got to see a little glimpse of the Night King too.
That's true, and he looks a lot younger and nice and better looking.
Yeah, different actor, I think.
He's a much younger zombie at this point.
Much younger zombie.
He's in his prime.
Prime zombie.
But yeah, the sun is really getting on my nerves for the fact that, and not in like a wrestling way where it's like, oh, he's meant to get on your nerves. It's
like
in a
Dominic,
way that like
Dominique.
yeah, you could solve this problem so easily by just being like, I'm the queen, shut the fuck up, and just like, you know. But instead, they let him just have these dumb rants. Like he almost ruined everything by getting into it with the two bastard guys that are now dragon riders. If he just shut his stupid mouth, like he doesn't need to talk. Like you're nobody, just be quiet.
Yeah. And the revelation that even what's his name, the Seaborn guy.
Oh yeah, that was cool too because both of those guys are his son.
Yeah.
And the one guy shaves his head because his hair is white and he doesn't want anyone to see it.
And no, he's Targaryen. Yeah. But yeah, it was
What else called? Is there? What is that bloodline called? With the black guys?
I can't remember now. But
oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember their name. I was just talking about it.
Yeah, I know. Well, Adam is the guy with the dragon rider. Adam of Hull, remember?
Yeah, because they don't have a last name because they can't take their bastards.
Yeah.
They can't have the guy's last name.
I'm looking. I got Timmy on it right now. The queen that never was. What's her name?
Yeah, but that's Rhaenyra.
Yeah, but she's she's married to him.
Rhaenyra is the aunt, right? Or the cousin?
Yes, her
and
aunt.
Rhaenyra is
the actual queen to be, yes.
Okay. I keep getting that confused. This is like, I can't believe we forgot that. I was just talking about it.
Yeah, I know. We got like I said, we got Timmy looking on it. Valerian, isn't it Valerian?
Yeah, no. Valerian.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Well, there we learned that. So they're part of the Targaryen bloodline, but they're like a secondary like
subset,
family.
I guess.
Yeah, they would be like it's like in the north, right? The Starks are the main family, but then there's like the
Tarleys and the Greyjoys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, the Greyjoys are their own kingdom. It's like, you know, in River Run, there's Tully.
There's Tully and Tarly.
And yeah, exactly. There's two different families, but they're all from like the same thing.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, I
There's
mean, what
so many.
else?
There's just so much going on. Like
Yeah.
it's so funny to me just how it is, and that like in the years in the future when Game of Thrones happens, so
Hmm.
like everything is in King's Landing, right? That's where
Yes.
like they all are. But then there's Dragonstone, that's what it's called, right? Is
Where
is just an
Daenerys ends
island
up.
right outside of that city,
Yeah.
but nobody uses it. It just becomes like a dead zone where
Because
nobody knows.
Harrenhal is the centerpiece that you need to control the central Westeros, right?
Yeah.
And right now it's under control by Rhaenyra. But that last season, in season one, that's where they killed off Rhaenyra's lover. Remember?
Yeah.
Not
That's
Roderick Strong, but
and the Harrenhal's in River Run, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it controls the Riverlands.
It's
And
the
if you control
gateway.
the
It's the
river,
gateway
yeah,
to the north.
yeah,
To get to the Arryn, is that what it's called?
hmm,
Or the Vale? To get to the
the Vale,
Vale and to get to the north, you have to get through River Run.
yeah, and whoever controls that can control
Yeah.
the
That's
passage
why
of,
and that's why it's funny because people always say they're such a scummy, like low tier family in House of the Dragon. I
yeah,
think it's the Tullys who are in charge of it at that point.
yes,
And
the Strongs control Harrenhal.
yeah, and so and it's like you wonder like why everyone has to bow to them to get through there because they're like nobody, right? At that point, their
Yeah,
army's
because it's
literally
like, was
nothing.
it Jace had to go through was it the twins?
Yeah, that's where the Red Wedding happens, isn't it?
Yes, Harrenhal, I
Yeah,
believe it
Aaron
was.
Hall. Yeah. Anyways, we're going way too deep into off
Yeah.
topics. I'm a huge fan of the series. The one
Yeah.
thing, the biggest issue I have with all of Game of Thrones and stuff is there's so much world. There's so many families. There's so many castles. There's so many important names, and they're all so similar, and they're all difficult to say. So it's like your head is like just a jumble of fucking
Yeah.
names all the
It's
time.
like
Like,
we haven't even mentioned the Stormlands yet.
yeah, well, they don't even
We
talk
haven't
about it at
mentioned
all because
or High Garden.
I don't High Garden. We haven't talked about zero
Yeah.
percent. But you know the family where he goes to the son goes when they're at River Run and he offers them like I'll give you Harrenhal
Hmm.
if we win.
Yeah, the twins
Those
because they
those
need to
they become the Natalie Dormer's family. I think.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
they become the High Garden family because you see the way they're dressed. That's how everyone in High Garden
High
used to
Garden's
look,
dressed.
right? And that's
That
just
makes
off to the
sense.
east of them or to the west, whatever. It's just off to the
Yeah.
side of them. So I think eventually they become that. But
Yeah.
it's like there's no Baratheons yet. They don't even exist as a
They don't even
family yet.
exist yet. No. The family doesn't even exist
There's
yet. Yeah.
but the weird thing that I found is they never ever talk about the Iron Islands,
Hmm.
but they at the one of the last episodes don't they mention Greyjoys? And I was like, Greyjoys
Yes.
don't even exist yet.
They do. They're kind of isolated with their own thing right now.
Because like they talk about it in Game of Thrones that they don't become a prominent family until like far later down the line.
In the into the future. Yeah. Who
Anywho,
knows? Yes.
once again, just a really well made show. I think the Matt Smith shit is stupid as fuck, and I think they
Yeah,
need to
that
figure that
was
out.
not the greatest of
There's too much situations where it only would have took a conversation to solve things that they let it get blown out of proportion.
yeah.
I think Aragorn, that's his name, right?
Yeah. Which one? The one that got burned?
No, the other one.
Aegon?
Aragorn, I was gonna say. Aegon. Aegon is like, I like the character, but it's to a point where it's like he's
I
still
find it funny
really
because he's the younger brother.
yeah. Do you know they're both either one of them is older than the mom in real life, and one of them is like a year younger than her.
Really?
Yeah.
Olivia Cook is not that old,
He's
eh?
like 34, and one of them
Oh,
is like
really?
35, and the other one's like 33 or something like that. My
That's
brother's like,
crazy.
look it up. He's like, I promise you. He's like, you're gonna be shocked. He's like, I could tell just from looking at them that they're like all the same age. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
Olivia Cook is 39.
okay,
No, 30.
30.
She's 30.
30?
Wow. Yeah, Olivia Cook's only, well, I mean, she was a teenager during ever watch Bates Motel?
No, but my
Yeah.
brother said that that's how he knew actually.
Yeah, who Olivia Cook was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember in Thoroughbreds she was like in her mid 20s. So yeah, she must have been.
Which is funny because Freddie Highmore was also in
There you
The
go.
Good Doctor.
The good doctor. See,
who was also in the Johnny Depp Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He was Charlie.
that's too many connections. Did
And
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 who's
who
on this?
the guy who played Charlie's father was also in Game of Thrones. He was one of the Bannermen.
I don't remember that. I don't even remember Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I remember the kid though. So how do you gonna check how old the sons are, Timmy?
Well, yeah, let's check out
Oh,
the sons.
so we have a 30-year-old mom.
30-year-old mom. I think she's older than what's her name? Darcy something. I forgot the
Emma
actress's.
Darcy.
Emma Darcy, yeah.
In real life, I think Emma Darcy's older.
Yeah. Emma Darcy, she is a year older than her.
Okay, check the sons though. That's what's important.
Okay. Timmy's on it.
Timmy's on it. We
Timmy's
got to
on
get to
it.
Putty. Putty's gonna get scared. We got about 5 minutes here.
Amon he's the eye patch guy.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have an age on here.
Okay, you look up the other kid and I'll find him.
Oh, he's 27. So he's only 3 years younger than
Then his mom.
Olivia Cook. And the other one is 26.
Okay, so they're both like in that range. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They do make her look older though. They try to.
But I mean,
And Aegon looks young.
Yes.
They do like put an effort to make him look young. The other son though doesn't.
He was in Saltburn. Saltburn was good.
This is where it gets me weird for this because I feel like the one who's king looks younger than the younger brother. And he also gets treated like the younger brother by the younger brother.
Yes.
Even before the burns and stuff. By the way, everyone doesn't know he attacks him with the dragon and
tries to kill him to take over the throne.
And I think, this whole problem could have been solved because now Rhaenyra is working with whatever her name is, Green. And they seem to be like okay with each other a bit. Like, we're not going to do this. And the other brother knows the truth.
Yes.
But the new Littlefinger guy.
Yes, that is Larys Strong. Who is the son? He's the son of the guy who's running Harrenhal, the old man who looks like Santa.
Okay, see, we're on top of things. He takes the king away on purpose so that he doesn't get involved, so they can try to kill the rest of the Targaryens. But all the king needed to do is say one thing with the way that the mom feels right now and the way that the aunt feels, and all of this would be resolved, and they would just take over the kingdom.
Yeah.
But they like that. It's like so many small little things of people pulling each other away. Who I really like, by the way, is the guy who becomes the dragon rider. The peasant guy that they show you.
I just learned something.
Teach me.
The guy who plays Ty Tennant, he is the guy who plays Aegon. He is the stepson of the 10th Doctor, David Tennant.
Holy shit. This is blowing my mind right now. David Tennant should be... Peter Capaldi should be in this show.
Oh, Peter Capaldi would be great in this show.
Don't you think so?
One of the old house leaders.
Like as an old Lannister guy?
Yeah, like the head Lannister or the guy who creates the Baratheon line.
Oh, that would be nice. We just need all the doctors. Can we get them all in? But just like find a way to get rid of Matt Smith.
And Peter Eccleston, right?
Peter Eccleston. No, David Eccleston. Hey, come on. Okay. It's the two of the best combined.
Yeah. Who do you think has Otto Hightower in prison though?
I don't know.
I think it's Larys Strong. That's his bargaining chip.
I kind of like the whole thing happening with the Lannisters and the free people in Essos.
The tri-families.
You know what's so weird? There's the continent, I guess we'll call it, of Essos is so big. And
it's bigger than Westeros.
It's bigger than Westeros, and they have probably a bigger population. And they've been living free for the eternity of that we know in this universe, at least.
Since the Targaryens left, because they left Essos to go to Dragonstone.
Right. And I think
that's why they conquered it.
I think that the Targaryens get respect because of who they are. Like, they're the owners of the throne. Until we get into the Game of Thrones era, kind of.
But they hold on to it for the next 200, 300 years, whatever
they've had it already for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But they're different. They're like a different ethnic group, right? Because they're from like the Africa / Middle East, like the desert land of of this world where everyone else is from like the green. That's like the way to divide it. That's perfect
Yeah,
way. One world is like
it's
desert
no
and one world is
coincidence
like
that
green.
Westeros looks like the shape of England.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like so there's so many people in Essos, but we don't know anything about it. It's like the least
Yeah,
talked about thing. And the Dornish are kind of forgotten.
even though it's still Westeros, it's South Westeros, so it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really.
Where that's where the world starts to become like deserty, right?
Hmm.
But it's still part of that continent. So but they are treated differently. In Game of Thrones, the
Yes,
Dornish are, even though they're the like one of the richest families, they get treated like they're I can't remember the
Pedro.
name of the family. It's with the three sisters. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. With what's his name?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, one of his first major roles.
He's really good in that role, actually.
Martells, the
The
Martells,
Martells. They're one
over
of
in
the
Martell.
richest, most powerful
Hmm.
families. They just get picked off so early on, right?
Yeah,
And but it's like they treat the Dornish like they're garbage, even though they're like the
one of the
poshest
richest.
people
Yeah,
in town. Other than Highgarden, the Highgarden people are just
yeah.
fucking dicks,
See, I
basically.
would like I would put Dorne very similar to like the rich like Bahrain or like the rich Middle
Yeah,
Eastern
like a
countries.
Saudi Arabia or something
Yeah.
like that. There's like a lot of allegory to it, but to be honest with you, I don't think that he meant to do that. I think
Mm,
it's just in some like when you're paying attention to the world, those things are just in your head and
yeah.
you're not thinking that you're doing it. I don't think he did it as a way of like political
Mm.
dialogue
When
in my
in
show.
Game of Thrones, like and it was no coincidence that in Game of Thrones, when Daenerys goes to that place where the free where to when she liberates those people, there's no. It's like it's clearly that's meant to look like Babylon type of Persian type
Yeah,
of.
there's a lot of influence pulled from
Yeah,
historical events. I'll give them that. But I don't think it's like a conversation meant to be about like real world politics. I think
no,
it's just in his head and he subliminally did it without knowing that he did a lot of this
that's
stuff.
him building lore.
Yeah. And you know what? Good for him. I'm going to be honest. I think the lore in Game of Thrones is even deeper than Lord of the Rings at this point.
Yeah,
I think like it's gotten very layered and it leaves me to the point where as someone who looks for this stuff in real life, I'm looking for stuff for the show. Like I constantly Googling like
yeah.
maps and like geographical
Families
things.
and yeah,
Where's the
family
castles?
histories,
Yeah,
family
family
trees.
histories and family trees. But like, and then I have to remember like it's not real. These things don't exist, so I can't find all this information because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and it could be could be miscrewed. It could be like
Yeah, you got to
because
pay
everybody
attention to
has
where
their
you
own.
read things, right?
Yeah, don't believe everything off of Reddit.
Yeah, for sure. About Game of Thrones, don't. But however, I just like we should end this soon. But I
Yeah,
think this show's really strong. I think,
it's one of the best streaming shows I think out there right now,
yeah,
hands
I'm
down.
very excited for another season. I love the way the show leads us to the new season.
Hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of cliffhanger endings, which we do get.
Yeah,
Um,
but it wasn't too bad.
no, because I think the general push from the very first episode to where we got at the end of like pushing us into this
It was
is really
satisfying.
strong. And like I said, I really enjoy that character, the peasant guy that became the dragon rider, not the like drunk guy, the other guy, the white hair
Yeah,
guy.
the guy who
Um,
looks like a Viking there,
yeah,
Thor.
I really like him. I think he's a
Yeah,
really cool character so far.
and the
Um,
fact that he got one of the biggest dragons, right?
yeah. You know who I also like?
Mm.
The old man from the castle where Matt Smith is,
Santa Claus.
who's just always listening to everything. He's a sneaky fucker.
Yeah, but he's the guy. He's the guy you want on your side in case something were to happen.
You know who he is? So the one guy's like Littlefinger,
Hmm.
okay, and the other
Yeah.
guy's like the eunuch. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, what's his
The
name?
bald guy.
Yeah, not Viserys.
No.
It's literally like,
Yeah.
but he's like him,
Yeah, I know
like
which guy you're talking.
a sneaky listener, gatherer of information, where Littlefinger was conniving, right?
Yes.
Are we gonna have to do this?
There was Davos. Melisandre. I'm trying to find him. He should have been early on, right?
Yeah, he's in the whole show, man. He's one of the most important people. It's dude. Why can't I
And
remember
he's
his
not
name?
really bald in real life either.
Varys.
Varys, yeah.
Yeah, I kept trying to say Veneris. Varys. Yeah,
Yeah.
he. That's who that is.
He's
He's
the
not.
Varys.
He can hurt you with this information he has, but he's not going to go behind your back and kill you, right?
No,
Where
he'll tell you
Littlefinger is
flat
like
out. Yeah.
a sneaky like douchebag. It's a well-made show, man.
It
It's so
is.
well made. Anyone who doesn't like this season simply for the fact that it's like slow paced or it doesn't have a lot of action is crazy.
But
I know
I think the fact that they shortened it to 8 episodes, it benefited from that because they
it
told a
did.
more cohesive story.
A lot of people, including my brother, got really turned off that like episode 5, the second half of like episode 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all slow. So he hasn't even watched episode 7 or 8 yet because he already heard they were slow. And after getting half an episode and a full episode of slow, he doesn't want to watch the rest.
But these were some of the best
It's
episodes.
because the politicking. That's what I like about these shows, right?
Mhm.
Like as a critic person, I'm gonna be like, well, the pacing is a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
But for me, like what I like about these shows, that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah,
For
it's
as a
like very
personal
much like the
preference.
way, if you want to compare it, like when Star Trek, The Next Generation did those slow politicking type of episodes.
Yeah, but that's
Those are
like
some of the best.
that's the best part of that.
Like, I don't
Anyways,
want like sea battles and space battles. I want like the
he wants
politicking,
Sequest.
Sequest with Jonathan Brandis.
Nice. Anyways, that's it. We're leaving you here. Let us know what you thought about the show. We obviously didn't get to talk about everything, but we can talk about it another day. Peace out.